Hello, my name is Mark Street and I've been gardening for over 40 years and crafting for a few years longer than that, believe it or not. And we're here today to show you some basic gardening tips. In this episode, we're going to have a go at making a raised bed out of some recycled materials, namely pallets. Right, the best pallets to use for any sort of growing are ones that are heat treated. Now, every pallet you find has a stamp on the end of it somewhere, and what you're looking for is the initials HT, which stands for heat treatment. So that means there's no chemicals involved in it at all, so it's quite safe. Right then, to dismantle the pallet, you're going to need a few basic tools, namely a good hammer. Hopefully a pry bar or crowbar, something like that, or if you're really going to go at it seriously, something like this, which is a pallet dismantling tool. It's a bit heavy and a bit pricey, but if you've got enough of you together, or maybe a garden club, you can buy one, and it's well worth it, because it makes the whole process an awful lot easier. Right then, the first part of deconstructing a pallet using a pallet breaking tool like this is quite easy. We've even had a 5-year-old young lad doing it. Right then, start breaking your pallet apart. You hit the pallet breaker and slot it over the center piece there, and you just gently push down and you've raised that first bit. Okay, move to the other end, and once you've got that in, a little bit of effort, up he comes, and over to the other side, push down, and the pallets come away pretty easily, and the nails, more importantly, stay straight, so it's easy to hit them out. And this one here, straighten him up, back through, turn it over, and don't forget, pop your nails straight in the bucket, because we don't want accidents. So once you've taken your pallet apart, you need to measure up all the lengths. Don't forget then, make your measurements, or the area that you need to make the bed in, and don't forget to write your measurements down on a piece of paper so you don't have to keep measuring so many times. You've got all your measurements. Time to get straight edges on your timbers. You'll find that the long edges are relatively straight, and if you want a nice right angle, use your saw and lay it up against it like that. Find your measurement and mark it off. There's your cutting line. Okay, line up your saw, and don't forget, keep your thumb up against the blade there, and it won't go far off the line. Let the saw do the work. Don't force it and don't rush it. We've used these bits of timber, which are going to be our main sides, which are approximately 3 foot long. These were the pieces we cut off the ends of them, which seem roughly, they'll do. It's going to be rustic, it's going to be a little bit uneven, but it doesn't matter. The vegetables or flowers and whatever, they certainly don't mind it. And then we've cut up some other little blocks, which we'll put inside the sides, just to be able to screw into. All right, give it a bit more strength and stability. When I put this piece on and screw it through, the other pieces of the pallet will butt straight up against there, and there won't be any messing about. Mark up the other end, little line to give you some guidance. Yep, that is my block. And then just a couple of screws. One top or bottom, whichever way round you are. Right, we've got our two ends done. There we are. And if we'd like to match up then the widest piece of timber, That'll fit in the bottom there, and the corresponding piece will go on there. All right, so we're going to screw that together now. Right then, one planter. You don't necessarily need a bottom of it, if you're laying it on soil, gravel or concrete, anything like that. It's not going to matter. So you can lay it straight down, fill it with some soil, compost, and grow what you want in it. You can even stain it, paint it and do whatever. It all works fine.